So today we're going to be talking about something that's kind of a hot button issue for a lot of people. Some people hate it, some people love it, and that's the way that SICK deals with customers, or the one of the favorite clauses, potential customers, which is an interesting is an interesting word, potential customer, because as I said before, pretty much everyone is a potential customer. However, if you treat everyone like, imagine, say you're into band music, rock music, you might think that if you go to like a Metallica concert or a Slipknot concert, whatever, if you take someone that likes music in general, like rock music or classic rock, they might go and see a band like Slipknot and be like, oh, it's rubbish. He's just screaming, and other people Slipknot fans might go and see, Blue Oyster Cult or a classic rock band, maybe a Grateful Dead or something, and be like, what are these hippies going on about? So just because the mountain bike industry has become so homogenous now, you kind of feel like everyone might be into the same thing as you. When Freeride started out, I'm going to say on the North Shore specifically, those guys didn't really care what people thought. They were as far from cross country and lycra wearing speedsters as they were, close to like motocross riders and BMXers and stuff like that. And for us, I think SICK sometimes very much feels out of its time. Although I wouldn't say that our customer service is bad per se, but we are pretty abrasive when it comes to people wasting our time. Now, me, Tim, Zam, Lee, we don't have much time. We do this job because we love and believe in our product and we love the sport. So you'll find that anyone that's asking us stuff, about the brand themselves, we're always going into detail. I mean, there are hundreds of emails I have between not just ourselves and customers, but ourselves and other brands, where we're talking in detail about processes we're doing. More than that, we show behind the scenes, we show exactly what we're doing. And that's always, it's often seen as a weakness. Like, if we're like, we made this and we broke our prototype and it's rubbish and we have to start again. People see that as a weakness and say, they broke their prototype. But other brands, they don't show you mistakes. And I think that we have an open hand is really good. So our abrasive tendencies are normally driven by the fact that we're quite tired. We don't have much time. So when you have someone asking you repeatedly the same thing, they're used to being spoon-fed by businesses because businesses are fighting for your business. They want your money. So they have to pretend to like you because they want your money. When someone's like, okay, so what's the reach on a size medium? And what's the reach on a size large? And what's the reach on a size XL? And how much is it? And I know it's only in 3 colours, but I want it a different colour. And I want different forks. And can you make it for a 26-inch? Well, eventually, these people kind of wear you out. And it has a knock-on effect. Because you start being like, look, if you can't be bothered to go to the website to look at the size of it, or the shape of it, or whether it fits you, or whether it's for you, then I can't be bothered to deal with you. I'm not going to spoon feed you. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. And I think this kind of customer service has come about, the other kind has come about, it's very Americanized. In fact, I can remember I think it was 1987, I first went to Florida with my parents. I went to Disneyland, massive Disney World, massive corporate thing. And on the first day, it's kind of sweet. You come through the door and they go, hi, how can I help you? What can I help you buy today? Can I help you get this? Can I help you get that? And at the end, it's like, missing you already. And like, me and my mum, like, oh, it's so cute, and being a little kid, it's kind of adorable. And then after about the 10th time, you realise the rictus grin on people's faces and that sort of thing. I mean, they don't really care if you have a good day. But I care if someone has a good bike. So when people are asking very, very specific questions like, I want to choose between the Hacksaw or the Wolf, I'm just thinking like, is it really, is the difference that big? I mean, where I live is here. I do this. I want this. It's like, I would recommend you do this. If someone sends me a message, says, I am this tall, I weigh this much. I think I want a medium, but maybe I want a large if I'm going to do a lot of racing. What do you think? I'll advise them. If someone's like, hi, I get emails that just say hi. Because people are used to talking through text and they're used to talking through Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. So people use email like you do text. And also people don't know the difference between a question mark and an exclamation mark anymore, so it becomes even more difficult to communicate. More than that, to be told that we have really, really bad customer service when we spend every single day face to face communicating on live streams, I think is a bit jarring to hear that people think we have bad customer service. You can literally ask us one to one. But also, I think we're allowed to get frustrated with people asking the same question again and again, the same people asking the same question, or finding something that's quite easy to find out. So is the customer service that Amazon or people like eBay or PayPal, is it better when they send you a cut and paste thing that says, "Hello, valued user, I'm sorry that you didn't experience the best thing on this occasion, but we'll do what we can to," and they upsell you something else. We don't really want to do that. We want to be honest, and we want to be reflective of us. And it might not be for you because it's for us. And we have customers already, and that we have kind of our relationship with our customers that we prefer to be one-to-one. We prefer it to be open. We prefer it to be honest. There are thousands of other bike companies out there where you can get the service you want. If you'd like a fairly faceless, very, very polite and very one-to-one service, brands like Canyon will give you that. YT will give you that. Specialized will give you that. Trek will give you that. In fact, I could go on so long that the entire podcast would be me telling you names of brands. But maybe there's brands that would, there's people that want brands that have a completely different outlook and a different perspective. It's like, why am I, if I don't care, why am I bothering to explain this at all? Well, for me, I kind of want to. I think it's important to kind of explain yourself when you're asked a question. And to be honest, inside one of our groups, I was asked why we do it. So I think the best way of doing it is get out there and answer the question yourself. Does it damage the brand? Yeah, probably. It probably puts people off. But those people that were put off by use of language, the use of words, down the line, they're probably going to be difficult customers anyway, because they expect a certain level of service. And there are things that instead of empty words and thank yous and pleases and thumbs up and thanks for your business, mind how you go, missing you already, instead of that, we offer a lifetime warranty on our frames for racing. If we have a manufacturer issue, if your brake mount snaps, if you find an unusual crack in the frame, you're like, whoa, we're going to do our best to get you back on the road, whether you're racing, whether you're a guide in the Alps, whether you're a bicycle courier, whether we're going to do our best to look after you on that. But with any kind of manufacturer issue, more than that, we have a crash replacement policy, which was yesterday picked apart online on the forum, saying it was very ambiguous. Now the realization is we have an ambiguous crash replacement policy to allow us to replace more crash frames, because when used with the letter of the law, if we can either have one or not. And if we have to put every single thing that we will do a crash replacement on, then we have to hold ourselves to that. We want to be able to make a choice. If someone's negligent and they run over their bike with their car, we might be like, I'm sorry, man, that's on you. If someone has their bike stolen, that's not us. If they bought their bike 1 week ago, rode out for the first time in a race and excitedly hit their first berm, cased it, smashed into a tree sideways and did that thing that the Santa Cruz Carbon did, where it against a tree and exploded, we might take pity on them and say, well, that's not on us, but we have a frame, like the paint job was messed up on, or we have this one that was a prototype version, you can have that. We might be able to, so allowing that flexibility in there. We could just stick to the letter of the law, and the letter of the law on most bright brands warranty is pretty crap. And to be honest, one of the things that's getting harder as the brand grows is wanting to be flexible and wanting to be visible and wanting to have a relationship one-to-one with the customer, because you get asked more and more and more, and people are so used to being deceived, so used to being sold things to, that I don't think they can even spot a genuine person anymore. More than that, it's 2018. You are in a world of choice now. If you'd like to unsubscribe from our Instagram, Facebook, stop getting updates, unsubscribe from our mailing list, and stop looking at our stuff, that option is up to you. But now you're kind of being, if you're going to kind of be the crazy person that walks all the way to protest miles away from where they live at someone having a concert or something, you're the crazy person. Just tune out. That's, you can even block me. I don't really care. If it makes you happy, that's fine. The other thing is people giving you advice for your brand and saying, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. Unless you own an absolutely massive bike company or you're already really successful at selling you stuff, you don't have the authority or the knowledge to advise us on what we're doing. We've worked out pretty well so far. And also, we're a young company. Let us find our own way. Have we made mistakes in the past? Of course we have. There's loads of things that I would rather have done better. But, when someone is kind of combative online, they're saying rude things, they're saying homophobic, racist, or just plain misogynistic stuff, of course we're going to call you out. Of course we're going to make an example. And of course we're going to be nasty to you. I'm a big believer in, letting bygones be bygones. If someone apologises to you, you pretty much got to take it and do it. And sometimes an eye for an eye is the right thing, just not all the time. Know when to stand down. So where does that leave? Where does that leave the brand as it grows? I think day by day we have to take a less personal approach, and it's really upsetting for us that we're going to have to start moving away from having such a close relationship with our fans just because it's perceived normal to just be kind of a faceless corporate entity. And this is very much like, have you ever seen the cartoon of the guy sticking a stick through the front of his own bike wheel and then falling off, and he blames it on something like bloody terrorists or bloody ISIS? That's kind of what the bike industry does to itself. No one buys 26-inch wheel bike, they'll buy a 650B and then go, oh, manufacturers killed off 26. It wasn't, it was you. Take accountability. You keep buying the new things, people will keep making the new things. You did it. I know it's 2019 and everyone gets a free pass. Now, I guess it's time that you have to kind of talk about the issue where it's like snowflakes. And one of the things I don't want to get caught up in is getting hero worshipped for being someone that's like, I crush social justice warriors and I crush snowflakes and stupid millennials and their avocado toast. It's like, I'm one of those guys too. I'm left-wing, proudly left-wing. I'm boringly vegan. I'm sober. I don't take drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I believe in equality, I believe in women being treated fairly, I believe in trans rights, I believe in people to have, free to have their own sexuality. But I don't think that anything gives anyone a free pass to be a dick. Like, that's my whole philosophy, is I think people should have the liberties to do whatever they like as long as they're not harming someone else, but you don't get to be a dick. I know as a cis white man aged between 18 and 60, I get a fairly easy ride. I'm also someone that doesn't come from a wealthy background, but I wasn't impoverished. I'm also someone that gets to do my dream for a living, but I earn it. So there was no handout from a rich uncle that started the brand. It's not like, oh, I started my first bike brand. It's a hard grind. I literally only had my dad who owned Specialized. There's none of that. There's no nepotism. But it also means that I don't want to beat up on people, who have a harder time with me. So you don't get to make me your role model for whatever agenda you have. I will always be transparent. I've always said if someone asks me an honest question, I will never shy away from it. So what are we seeing in the industry now? Because I feel like we're seeing a sea change. When you're getting Specialized saying no more bullshit standards, which I think is a little bit rich since, they kind of introduced a lot of them. I guess that's not fair. Wacky said that maybe it's like Trek that does it quite a lot rather than Specialized, but even so. We are seeing a sea change in the industry, and whether our tiny brand on an island is responsible for a small part of that, empowering people to to say, nah, we're kind of done with this. Let's take the industry back a little bit. You know, enduro racing is nothing but mountain biking with a clock. There's no special bike that you need for it. People can race enduro on a downhill bike or a hardtail. You know, that's the best thing about enduro racing. You don't need to tape a banana to your frame to do it. You know, enduro sees a return to mountain biking. It's just lazy cross country. It's brilliant, in my opinion. But you don't need a specific enduro bike to do it, even though we have to use a terminology, otherwise people wouldn't understand it. So I do jump from tangent to tangent, don't I? You see, this is one of the things where someone said you can't get away anymore with being as unprofessional as you are. But do you know what the interesting thing is about Sick is we're not professional. There's no big business plan. I mean, we know what we want to do. We want to make bikes. There's no investors or kind of like scary puppet guys behind us pulling the strings and stuff. Everything we've done, we've built off of the core principle of we'd like to ride it. And that's worked out okay for us. And we don't need people's advice from customers telling us how to run things, because you can, as a customer, you can vote with your money. You just don't have to buy it. And we're also not doing, stick it up boring versions of other people's bikes just so you can have a Sick sticker. Buy a t-shirt, buy 10 t-shirts, heck, everyone else's. I'm also full of gratitude for the industry that has supported us. Brands like Kotick, BTR, Kingdom Bikes, Mountain Bike Strap-On, DVO. DVO wouldn't do anything like DVO. The guys at Cane Creek, We Are One Composites. These guys have really, they've really helped us. Box Components gave us our first shifters. Pinion gave us schematics to the Pinion bridge way before we were big enough to do anything with it. We are lucky enough that Fabric, thank God, making the best saddle on earth. That was our sales pitch to them. Can we have some because we like them and we're buying loads of them ourselves? So there's a great deal of shilling going on. No, I'm joking. We're not selling out just yet, but we are conscious that the industry has helped us so much. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to still change what we're doing, and we're probably going to have to. If enough people call for it, we're gonna have to stop doing exactly what we're doing and make a move towards a more corporate and less fun entity. I don't know if people really want that. Of course, the scary thing as well is, when you trace back some of the people that are complaining about the brand the loudest, especially on Pinkbike and stuff, their profiles don't lead anywhere. There's no personal pictures on there. There's no pictures of their bikes. Hell, they're not even selling bike bits on Pinkbike. Who has a profile that doesn't sell bits on Pinkbike? There's a few guys on there that I'm starting to wonder if their accounts are even real, or they're just people winding people up, or even worse, nefariously working for other businesses and kind of trying to destroy the reputation of other brands. I mean, that's it sounds sinister, but we've seen it everywhere. So I don't know, we've been investigating that pretty highly when we found a few accounts were new, or and they're just dead ends. It's a bit sinister, isn't it? A bit X-Files, but without the kind of without Mulder eating sunflower seeds. But we'll see how things progress. But we are pleased, for the support that we do have from the industry and from the people that buy our stuff. I mean, obviously they're the people that are doing it, and the order book is full, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So for people that don't like us, it might be a rough ride the next year. Thanks for spending time with me today, and have a good week. It's my first weekend racing this weekend and a whole bunch of time. So I'll be kicking off this weekend and getting on my bike, and I'll do a rundown on my blog after it and let you know how I got on. The last time I think I come 9th, so a little 5th be nice. Aiming for 5th. So have a great weekend, guys, and we'll speak to you soon. And yeah, good one.